Welcome. God, what do I say? What do I say? What do I say? How do people do intros? Anyway, let's skip the intro. This is my fire pit. I like it. This is some of the beginning machines. I had this is where I made brass. I would heat up the blaze burner. It's missing a shaft, but that would get it going. This was my very slow setup for making precision mechanisms, which is for like mechanical arms and speed controllers. And then I wanted to get into bees, so I've got this little machine here where it sucks all the honey out of the bee nests as they make it and plops it into this tank, and then I can get bottles out of it with this. Hold on, let me lower that music volume. Jesus. Can't hear myself. And then this one is honeycomb. I couldn't quite figure out how to make them function automatically whenever it reached full. So I just have this timer that just, like, all these observers are useless. I just have this timer that turns on these dispensers, cuts the honeycomb. These two are vanilla. I mean, that's the create mod, but these are vanilla. Cactus farm, rather ordinary. A lot of people have these. They're very simple to make. Not going to go into too much depth on that. This is my automatic farm. We've got harvesters and plows. The plows are for the sugarcane, and the harvesters are for carrots and wheat and flax and beetroots and all kinds of things. Stuff that I might need for dyes or food, like bread, or to make packed mud with the wheat, because I love mud. Mud is an awesome block. Maybe I'll go over how these things are all connected with these frog ports at the end, and I'll just kind of give you guys an overview of how how that works. But all this stuff is collected in these chests, and then when it gets back to here, these portable storage interfaces suck all those items out of the chest. See, there's some items in there, but they'll get sucked out, thrown into this, and this little setup I have here is just a threshold switch and a packager. So it looks for a certain quantity of stacks, and if it reaches that quantity with the threshold switch, it'll light this redstone and package up those 9 stacks and send it on its way using the very new, awesome frog ports, which go across these chain conveyors. I need a tree farm, much like this, except with saws instead of plows and harvesters. Right now, this is my tree farm. Yes, it's very, very high tech. Very high tech. Over here, we'll come to that after. That'll be last. This is my cobble generator. Can I turn it on? So I got this idea from Tango Tech, YouTuber, Hermit Crafter. It's using the create mod to very quickly take this one source of lava and shove it into all of these little places where the blocks aren't when it's moving, and then it breaks the whole layer of cobble whenever it blocks into place, and then the water just shoots it down. If you guys want more in detail explanations for how these things work, please leave a comment down below, and maybe we can do like a video tutorial describing how to actually make some of these things, because like this is how I'm powering all of this. It starts with a lava generator, which the lava gets pumped out into this container, and then into buckets, and the mechanical arm feeds them to the blaze burners, which gets this boiler running, and that gives us steam power. I have everything, like the pumps, the mechanical arm, that stuff, they're all on a windmill, so that in case this steam engine stops because it runs out of lava, which can happen when you're building in different locations and stuff, this will start it back up automatically as soon as it starts getting lava again. And like that's what I mean by kind of complicated, is I can go much more in depth on how these things work. But then we transfer the energy over to the cobble generator, and that's honestly the real first step. You got fire, you got steam, and then you get cobble. And from cobble you can make quite a lot of stuff. Where am I? We'll do that after this, but right now I'm collecting the cobble in that vault. It's coming up here and being dropped into all of these chutes, these grinders. You can see it dropping down below. We were getting gravel out of these by grinding up cobble. This is doing the same thing as before. It's checking for 9 or 10 stacks, and then it packages it up and sends it on its way. And over to the storage system. That was what you just saw there, it grabbed something off the chain. Because we're not just sending things to the storage, but we're also receiving things from the storage. The thing that we're receiving is gravel. So yeah, I'm storing it over there and I'm calling it back twice. Very, very efficient. But it's coming back here to be washed. Goes under this. It all gets unpackaged. And then comes over here. And the arms place them on a 4x4 grid of many fans. 4, 8, 12, 16 fans. Shooting water. This is my washing machine. I still need to make a blaze, not a blaze, like a blast furnace. So I switch the water out for lava. I need to make a fire furnace, which switches the water out for lit fire, and a haunter. Same thing as the regular fire, but blue. Now the whole point, because we don't really care that much about cobble, we don't care that much about gravel. But when we wash it, it gives us flint, and most importantly, iron ingots. This grabs all of those items off of there and sorts them into chests. Same system as before. Looks for nine stacks, and then sends it on its way. Over to the frog port right there. And the iron, we want a mixture of iron ingots and iron being stored, so I only have one arm that's randomly putting iron ingots into here, and the rest goes into here to automatically make the iron bars, which the mechanical arm takes out, shoves into the iron bar thing, and again, at 9 stacks, it'll take it away. Before I move on to the storage, I want to go over this. This is my limestone generator. You can actually generate limestone in the Create mod with honey and lava. So you can just turn it on. See, the honey goes in, the lava touches it, turns into limestone. It makes about 11 a second. Every couple seconds. Turn that off, it's a little loud. But yeah, it's my limestone generator. Again. The, ooh, don't want to go in there. The items are taken out. I color code some of the belts to help identify inputs and outputs. I guess this should be red, actually, because it's an output. But same thing. Got the the threshold switch, the glass. Got the chest. Down here I've got a little machine. This is a mud maker. Full of mud. There's a chest. Chest here. This one isn't automated. No, I mean it is and it isn't. You put the mud or the regular dirt in that chest. It drops into this basin. Comes out of here after being mixed with water, which is pulled from an infinite water source via a pump, and becomes mud. From there I can make packed mud, mud bricks, mud walls. Love mud. I'm going to make a factory out of mud. And now to see the storage system. So we've got these chain conveyors everywhere, and these awesome new frog ports. The chain conveyors are fucking awesome. Hi, chicken. You can see it on packaging. This is going to happen a lot because it's just making a lot of gravel because we're making a lot of iron. You can see this is where I've got it packaged in. I have these threshold switches on the storage units to shut off washing or collecting of certain items at certain amounts. This is my food container. I actually have it hooked up to a stock ticker. I've got these in the back here. I want to make this stock ticker work with all of these vaults, but I can't. I think it can only work on one at a time. But you talk to the frog, order up a stack of wheat and carrots, and there it is. Grab it. Wheat and carrots. Which is pretty cool. You could actually have shops. Well, actually, this isn't a shop. We can have kiosks. But there are shops. I haven't figured them out yet because I haven't really fucked them yet. So I've got bulk storage here, and then I've got small storage here. And I put there are these labels. If you look here, self, washing. When you put a sign on the packager, it labels the package. And then you can label the frog ports. See, this one's labeled self. It doesn't work. I don't really know why. These work. This is for, let's see, this one is labeled bulk, and this one is labeled small. Small. So I just put small or bulk on any of the packages that I want to take and send. This is washing. So this is where the gravel ends up. At least that works. See, we've got a nice full... It's nice. Nice. I want to make a much nicer looking factory. I wish that I could do all of this in a little bit more organized fashion, but there's just so much. Hard to organize it all. The chain conveyors are helping, but I learned about them a little bit too late to integrate it to the real design. And that's it. Here's my sheep, my cows, and my chickens. Oh, here's my computer. I'm trying not to rely on the computer this time. Usually I have wires from this machine that go all over the collect all of the items as they're made and then send them off to different machines to make other things, like the cobble to the gravel to the iron. But I wanted to try to do this with just the create mod. So I still use the computer for a lot of things. I've got it right here. But I'm trying. It's mostly just for convenience of all of the random fucking items in the game, because there's like a bajillion fucking random items, and I don't like going through 10,000 chests. In the future, I may hook this whole thing up to wiring anyway, because I kind of want to build a new factory. And I kind of want to go to a new location. I don't really like this location for building. Becoming night again. I've been talking for a while. I'll let y'all go. If anyone wants to learn more about all these machines, please let me know in the comments. I'm sure I can go into all kinds of video depth with each one of these things. This part here isn't even needed right now because I'm not using it for anything, these P2P tunnels. I know how to use them, I'm just not using them. It's for later. My simple enchanting setup. Oh, I have some mods. Like this one you've seen me use, the double jump. Is really useful for not just wasting rockets all the time. And getting off the ground. And I've got free cam. You know, I like my mods. I try to keep it vanilla. The computer is pushing it on the vanilla part of things. I think the create mod fits very well into the whole scheme of things. But I understand why Mojang hasn't put it in the main game. I can imagine this is not an easy thing to run for most computers. Especially PlayStations and stuff for Bedrock version. But it's cool. Collecting everything in one spot. It's nice. Alright. I will see you guys next time. Bye!